Welcome to Broadcasting Your Side Hustle, where the goal is to help you start a client attraction podcast so you can stand out in your niche, get more business, and step further into your purpose. That's the mission, that's the goal, and the question that we are answering today is, what is the best time to post your podcast? What is the best time to post a podcast? Is it on the weekend when most people are available? I mean, is it at 12 when people, maybe they're taking their lunch break and have some time to listen? What is the best time to post? You know what? Why don't we address the real question here, which is, how do you get the max amount of listeners consistently for your podcast? Because that's really what you're asking with this question of when to post, right? That's what you're really looking for. So instead of talking about when to post and statistics and when people go to bed and time zones and all that kind of stuff, let's talk about the real question here. The very first thing that you need to understand when you're thinking about this question is you need to understand who your audience is. Just a quick example here. I am a gigging musician. I'm involved in 2 bands that go out and play on a fairly regular basis, but those shows are on the weekends. So if I was going to listen to a podcast about being a gigging musician and you were the host of that show and were releasing on a Saturday, I wouldn't be able to listen because I'm getting ready for the gig, right? That's what I mean by knowing your audience. Release at a time when your audience should be available. Not that they always will be, but when they should be, when they have the most ability to be. If your content, if your podcast focuses on the C-suite and how to rise up in the C-suite of an organization, weekend might be your best bet to post because people are off. They're off of work, right? It's all about knowing your audience. The second thing is you want to write your show titles in a way that answers questions that your audience has around the problem that you solve. Now, if you have not listened to episode 1 or episode 2 of the show yet, I encourage you to go back and listen to those because we dive deeper into your main problem and what I call satellite problems. And these are all things that you can use to come up with questions to title your episodes so that you're more searchable, more discoverable, and we address the main question that is really at play here. How do you get the max number of listeners consistently? So if you haven't listened to those, go back and listen to episode 1 and 2. I believe they will serve you well. All right, we've addressed when to post. It's all about knowing your audience. We've addressed how to be more discoverable, write questions that your audience has around the problems that you solve. And the third way that you can get more listeners consistently is to build community. You need to bring people from your show into a communal space. And at this point, it doesn't matter if it's a Facebook group, if it's a group that you've created on your website, if it's an email list that you send out a Zoom link to so you can get together with people and talk about the problem that you solve and give them deeper insights. It doesn't matter how you do it, but you need to be building community, a place where they can really connect and interact with you on a deeper level. Doing those 3 things, you are going to build engagement, you're going to build consistency and listenership, and people are going to be looking forward to the next episode that you release. Delete Instagram for a week. I'll wait. I know, you can't. I understand. But you could join our Podcast to Freedom community, which doesn't require you to. See, every day that you spend scrolling is a day that you did not spend building your client attraction podcast. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why you should join Podcast to Freedom. Number 1, and the biggest one, is it's distraction free. We're not on Facebook. We're not on Instagram. So there's no algorithm stealing your attention. just a bunch of like-minded people getting together to move and build their podcast so they can get out of the 9-to-5 world. Second reason is reciprocity. This is a room built on giving, not performing, not dancing for the algorithm to go viral. You show up, you give value, you get value from people that are exactly where you are, people that are building. And the third reason is access. We get on Zoom every week, live, where you can ask me your questions that you're dealing with right now. No DMs, no messages disappearing into the void. You get answers for what you're dealing with right now. Imagine where you would be in 90 days if you put that scroll time back into building your client attraction podcast. That's why this community exists, to be distraction-free, built on reciprocity, and having actual access that can move the needle. If that sounds like something that's interesting to you, this community is free, it is powerful, and it is growing, and I can't wait to see you in there. Podcast to Freedom. The link is below. And one final way to get the max amount of listeners and build that consistency is to get your audience's feedback. Ask them for feedback when it comes to the questions they have around the problem that you solve. Maybe they have a satellite problem that you didn't even think of, that you maybe didn't even realize that was a satellite problem. But they ask that question and it triggers immediately an episode idea that you can solve and you can address. This is the thing that you need to do as well, is build that audience engagement and get them commenting, get them asking questions, and that way you can build out your content more efficiently and be more effective. And that is really it when it comes to when is the best time to post. I hope you got value from this episode. If you did, whatever platform that you're listening or watching on, just subscribe, like, follow, whatever that platform allows you to do, download. That way you let that platform know that you found value here. And again, if you do have more questions about building your podcast, building your show, leave them in the comments. Let me know how I can best serve you. With that said, keep going and peace. I'll see you in the next one.